Front two, go forward, bring that one forward.
This one's there, and it's that's all. Come on, boys.
Adam, a chilly Tuesday night in Sydney's inner west, but for a famous name from the NSL, the old fires are burning. APIA 1987 champions, twice former NSL Cup winners, back on the big stage once again. And their first game. Wales. Veteran Franco Parisi likely to be first change off the bench. And the big question for victory was whether Keisuke Honda would feature. The answer is no, he doesn't even have his visa yet. But fellow new signings Storm Rue and Corey Brown do start. Brown, the son of Rod Brown, who was part of the APIA team that won on the bench at the start of his second stint with the victory. There is Billy McCall, the 60-year-old Scot who's been with APIA for over 20 years in various roles, and he's a big Celtic fan, so there might not be too much love for the opposition bench tonight, because Clement Muscat, of course, is a former Rangers player. Muscat is sat alongside his new assistant, Carlos Perez Salvachua, who spent 6 weeks. Now the match ball being presented by our Donate Life representative, Nick Kutalistras, the manager at the Royal Prince Alfred Transplantation Services and Institute, which is involved in life-saving research in organ preservation techniques. If you want to register as a donor, the website address donatelife.gov.au. And of course, it's not just players who get the chance to prove their worth in the Cup, but refs as well. Ben Abraham of New South Wales taking charge of his 5th Cup tie. Although he's yet to officiate in an A-League game, he was the man in the middle for the Rockdale Sydney FC clash in the round of 32. James Troisi with a shaven head, and there is Tesco Sakia, who was very much looking forward to playing against Keisuke Honda. A bit of a disappointment for him not to face his compatriot, looking to make a name for himself on this chilly night at Leichhardt Oval. So off we go. Not APIA's spiritual home of Lambert Park, of course, and not the artificial surface they're used to. They have seen one big shock in the cup this year already. Might we be about to see another Andy Harper?
Well, of course, there remains that possibility, Simon, which is the real attraction of this competition, particularly its scheduling this year when the A-League clubs hit the NPL clubs and even teams from lower tiers when they're still in their competitive season, so they're as fit as they're going to be, and that provides them with an added chance. It's a very crisp night here, and it's a very even start to the game in a physical sense, you'd imagine.
I suppose from APIA's point of view, it's also
Lambert Park, and you refer to it as it's the spiritual home, and there's so many great days out at Lambert Park. Beautiful setting for a ground, and of course they lose that advantage here tonight, not just the playing surface, but yeah, the point you make, Simon, is a really interesting one, and how APIA arrest this end of season slide when their season was just going along so beautifully. It's a big challenge for the players here up against Kenny Askew and other Melbourne Victory players here early in their preparations. See if they can sting an upset.
Well, they've earned themselves a free kick, courtesy of the infringement by Lee Broxham, veteran of these cup ties. Only partly away by Corey Brown, and there could be a chance here for APIA. It's Howard Fondake trying to tee up Corey Bigso on the right. Victory scrambling clear. Nathan Milgate. This is going to be a feature of APIA's play, the long launch on the right fullback. There was a push in there on the APIA captain, Sean Simons. Victory bring it away down the right. Stormbroo, one of their new acquisitions. In fact, it was Costa Barbarouses, my mistake, who netted the winner, of course, in the round of 32 game against Perth Glory, which earned victory there, spot in the last 16. Another fascinating night of cup action ahead. We'll keep you across what is happening around the country in the other 3 matches. Another 4 to come next week. Linked forward by Terry Antonis. Jai Ingham trying to bring it under his spell. Left-hand side of the penalty area. Interesting that Franco Parisi is out there. Must have been a late change to the team sheet. We expected Parisi to start on the bench, but we're told that there's been a late switch. David DePuzzo has reverted to being a substitute, so the veteran is in at the 35 years of age, and of course we remember him from his days in the A-League, right at the outset of the competition with the Newcastle Jets, and then a brief stint with the New Zealand Knights.
Yeah, is it an injury to the futsal, or is it?
We will get Daniel Garb onto it.
Maybe let's give the benefit of the doubt, and let's romanticise that Coach Billy McConnell has decided, you know what, if we're going to hit Melbourne Victory and hurt them, it's going to be early, so let's throw another couple of cannons out there, see if we can do some damage. They've been pretty sprightly across the front part of their formation. APIA in these opening minutes still never too focused not to say hello to those who've turned up to watch the game tonight, Coach McConnell.
Foul by Barbarouses. A little over-eager. Daniel Garb is sidelined for us tonight. I think he's ready to have a chat with us about that late change for APIA.
Hello, Simon. No late change. He was meant to be on the team sheet, Franco Parisi. It was simply a mistake. That's why he was left off. But yeah, that's why he's out there now. It was an error with the team sheets, but he's an interesting one to watch. He was a really well-touted prospect when he came through, Franco Parisi. He spent 6 months training at AC Milan when Mauro Tassotti was coach, 6 months training at Spurs when he was 18, when Glenn Hoddle was the boss, and he told me before the game he played 3 or 4 games in pre-season alongside Les Ferdinand up front for Spurs, so he's got some pedigree.
Not a bad CV.
Yeah, but Garby, come on, mate, keep the dream alive. Can you give us some ducks and drakes or some sensational tactical switches before kickoff?
Maybe Billy McCall was playing ducks and drakes with that lineup. Anyway, Parisi in from the off. And strong play by Valeri to dispossess Fondo, but then turned over casually by Victory. This is Sakia, who can hit them, and now Parisi. Thomas Deng, who got his body in the way. Big clearance though, again by Victory, this time Corey Brown. As far as Millgate's, Chino, a little bit too straight.
Well, as expected, great energy from APIA, and the opportunity for them as soon as it's available to hit the ball forward to a player in motion. That's exactly the option they're taking.
This is Timber Guatemala, who had brief stints with both Sydney FC and the Newcastle Jets. And Corey Bixo will operate down the right-hand side. He's a physiotherapist by trade, very stocky, nuggety sort of a player. His step-overs to try and get rid of Corey Brown, back with Bixo, and it's off Brown, and APIA will have themselves a corner.
A very good little passage of play. Very composed, great ball movement. So with a nice little bit of individual technique to unsettle the defence as he received the ball wide on the right. And they've got the corner which they deserve. Let's see if they can put some serious pressure on the victory goal.
Sean Simons to take their captain. Millgate, Josh Simons at the back post, and it goes in that direction. Matt Acton will reach it first. Fondike challenging. One or two shouts for handball against Bromson. Nothing doing, says Ben Abraham. It's a lovely ball back towards Sean Simons, who flashes it across the face of the victory goal. Nobody there for APIA to apply the finishing touch, but the home fans encouraged Andy.
Yeah, very good pressure. Perhaps a little more on that cross than was needed, but again, he was found nicely. Looks so beautiful. He's a tiny player, Sakia. He's going to be one to watch tonight. He split the defence with that wide ball. Cross with a little bit too much on it, but Victory being asked some questions early.
Away goes Sean Simons, the former Western Sydney Wanderers National Youth League player. Slip sliding on the surface again, perhaps just those little readjustments to the grass pitch. Quite what they're used to. Parisi trying to be inventive. And looking to take control ahead of teammate Paul Galimi. There's a little bit of confusion there amongst the APIA ranks. Chance for a breather for Melbourne Victory. Kenny Thune trying to bring it down. Big season ahead for the former Heidelberg striker. Marisha now departed. Wonderful release that by Parisi. An awful lot of time to think about it. Nathan Millgates back towards Temba Guatemala. Looking for the run of Sakia. Thomas Deng has gone with him. Should be able to see it out. A bright start by the home side.
Very much so. Melbourne Victory pinned pretty much in their own half. Positive performance so far by APIA. Strong and committed in the challenge, as we've just seen there. Very crisp ball movement.
That's clever by Corey Bixo. And again, Thomas Deng come across to provide cover for Melbourne Victory. Now the champions just showing one or two signs of ring rustiness. Early campaign, of course, still some 7-8 weeks away. Rebound favours Sakia. Tasaka Sakia opens the scoring for APIA Leichhardt. Well, all the pre-game headlines were about his compatriot Keisuke Honda. But who needs Honda with a finish like that? Tasaka Sakia gives the NPL New South Wales outfit the advantage against the A-League champions, if you don't mind. And what a finish it was.
Fantastic intensity early from APIA. At 6s and 7s were the Victory defence, and the ball breaks to Sakia, who's been very, very bright in the opening 9 minutes. But a little bit of an accidental pass to the goal scorer, but he really decided early what he was going to do and finds the back of the net, the far corner of the goal. Brilliant start for APIA.
And he's just earned his club $2,500, of course, as well, from NAB. Every goal scored by a non-A-League club against professional opposition earns that money. What a moment. as a junior at Shonham Belbar and was desperate to play against Keisuke Honda tonight, but he's just put his name up in lights. Works by day as a kitchen hand at the Sydney Opera House and had to ask his boss for the day off today. I reckon his boss, Andy, might be glad at this very moment he accepted that demand.
Well, if he can continue the rest of this game with this sort of output, and of course he's not going to keep scoring every 9 minutes, but the point is he's been very, very bouncy and difficult to handle, and if he puts in a 90 minutes on the back of the opening 10, then he might get the opportunity to play against Keisuke Honda on another occasion. Because if the FFA Cup can serve one purpose above reconnecting communities, it's providing launch pads for aspirant footballers. And why wouldn't, on this evidence, you have another look at Sakia? Great goal and a really good start from APIA.
Well, the A-League champions rock back on their heels. Could we have another cup set on the cards? Long way to go here. Goals started to fly in elsewhere as well, Adam Peacock. Don't you just love the cup, Andy Harper?
How can you not? And that's a big call from Adam Peacock to say that the team that didn't win the championship last year in Sydney FC is in more trouble than Melbourne Victory here.
Carl Valeri might have been in a little bit of trouble for that little fracas with Sakia, the goal scorer.
Beautiful little turn. He's a very accomplished footballer.
No card produced for the Victory skipper. Won't be so lucky next time, but he's the man on everybody's lips at the moment. Takusa Sakia, that's a lovely touch by Sean Simons.
Well, some outstanding performances early. Simons won. Sakia, of course, we've spoken of. Corey Bixo, outstanding as well on the right-hand side. Defence has done well. It's a very, very complete opening quarter hour from APIA Leica.
Victory know they're in a game here. Here's Sakia once more. He was a little bit late going for the follow-up challenge. Carl Valeri. Pressure relieved on Melbourne Victory, who've never lost to non-A-League opposition. 7 previous ties against NPL outfits, and Kevin Muscat's team have won the lot. Free kick victory and another goal, Adam Peacock. Wonderful night of cup action in the offing already. Those early goals right around the country. If you are just tuning in, one here already for Takusa Sakia. This is Corey Bixo looking to hassle and Harry Lee Broxham. They don't look too comfortable at the moment. Yeah, the champions. Underlined by that slice off the left boot of Corey Brown.
Bixo put them under real pressure again. The number 8 for APIA's terrific start to the game, just clocked off then, unfortunately for his team.
Wonder who Rod Brown's cheering for tonight. Famous old APIA name, of course. Scored a bucket load of goals in their NSL Championship winning team in 1987 under the legendary Rally Rasic.
Yeah, well, he follows Corey, needless to say. He scored grand final championship goals for Brisbane. Was very happy to support the Roar when Corey was a Roar player. I think that allegiance is sort of tested when his son moves from club to club.
You're looking to lift it over the top for the run of Vixo again. This is James Troisi looking to bounce back this coming A-League campaign from his World Cup disappointment. Missed out on Bert Van Marwijk's squad for Russia. Left a little bit short for Storm Roux, but he's made it into a good pass at Tonis. Now Valeri, Troisi. Actually the first sight of the APIA penalty area victory have had. Vixo got a toe in. Troisi pulls it into the path of Corey Brown, looking for the cutback, and victory threatening here. And it's only partly away, Jayingham. They managed to get bodies in the roads. APIA like hard to deny. Jayingham the equaliser. Just the first real signs of worry for Billy McCall's side.
Yeah, that was nice work from Melbourne Victory. It's beautiful interpretation around the penalty area of teammates' moves.
There's Parisi looking to drop the shoulder and get around Antonis. Back for Machino.
There were a number of Victory players, Simon, who were claiming handball in that effort towards goal. Referee immediately and emphatically waved play on.
Silence. Sakia just came a bit heavy off the boot of the diminutive Japanese striker. I know that APIA have had to readjust somewhat the way they play because of the departure of Jordan Murray, who was very, very handy in the air. Of course, Sakia, being shorter in stature, plays a different way. And as mentioned at the top, he's not a natural number 9, but you wouldn't know it by the quality of the finish. Gave APIA the lead in the 9th minute. It's well read by Milgate. It's not the first time that Melbourne Victory have played an FFA Cup tie here at Leichhardt Oval. You might remember they played the Balmain Tigers here a few years back and by 6 goals to 0. Went on to win the FFA Cup that year, 2015. Went out at this stage last year to Adelaide United. Strong play by Paul Galevi before he was upended by Barbarouses. Abraham just has to keep a lid on things here. Victory a little bit rattled and looking to impose their game, their professionalism.
There certainly was a don't argue from Terry Antonis. Simon, I was looking at in the pre-game, and he has stripped right down this year so far, a long way out from the start of the season, but the initial obstruction, which was waved play on. Mr. Barbarouses overstepping the mark. But Terry Antonis is looking very ready for action, certainly when you compare how far they out from the start of the season.
Progress scores from around the grounds in Cairns FC 1, leading Sydney
Now this
FC
is a
0.
throwback night, Simon. Around the grounds calls on the PA at a suburban sports ground. This is my childhood.
Sydney Greens 0. Down in Victoria, Avondale FC 1, leading Devonport City 0.
Brilliant. Magic of the cup, right here at Leichhardt Oval. Corey Brown in strong and late. On his namesake, Corey Vixo.
Melbourne Victory working hard to try and establish some authority here. A couple of late tackles have come in. The last possession for Melbourne Victory was the most settled they'd had. And on the back of that impressive attack which forced that desperate defending from APIA. It's an important phase of the game, this, for the home team, whose start's been brilliant. But they must maintain the rage, or Melbourne Victory will pick them off if they're allowed to settle into the game.
Remember, 120 minutes plus penalties they played on Saturday, just a few days ago, APIA. The NPL New South Wales finals. Here's Jayingham, who's had Victory's best chance so far. Troisi. APIA have got lots of bodies back. Barbarouses looking to deflect it towards goal. Back with Ingham. combination involving Troisi didn't quite pay off for Melbourne Victory. Swept away by Moitamalo. Short by Brown. This is Corey Bixo. Straight at Valeri.
Those passes, Bixo's hurt himself after lunging and trying to fix the error. But that pass didn't make its target. And these are the moments where APIA need to be careful.
Torgalimi allowing Barbarouses to steal in on the blind side. Who then left his trailing leg dangling, and it's not too friendly between left fullback and right winger. There's a bit in this, as you'd imagine. The league champions stung after falling behind. Still the exchange goes on, verbally at least.
That's a good volley. And there's a backward roll with extension, that's what they say in the trade. Good anticipation, there was an arm across the chest, and
you know, you could almost constitute that as dangerous play for Barbarouses. I mean,
well, I tell you, if I'm Torgalimi in that situation, I'm standing over Costa as well and saying, what's that all about?
meantime, APIA have a concern over Corey Bixo. Went down some moments ago after trying to retrieve the situation after giving the ball away. Went flying in on Valeri.
Hurt his shoulder.
Yeah.
That's
just a slight dislocation somewhere. Doesn't look too happy, does he?
He started so well. And how often do you see it, Simon? A breakdown in concentration or a lapse in concentration gives the ball away, and then so determined to try and correct the error, you compound things by injury. That's the giveaway, and he thinks, I've got to fix this for my team. And he's put himself in a bit of trouble, and his start has been so good. Not short of eye-catching, I'll say. He's been really dynamic down the right-hand side, but I'd be surprised if he's going to continue from here. Or, of course, he might do the Franz Beckenbauer on us. Play with one wing.
It's a tough cookie, is Corey Bixo. Here's that chance that Victory had, Andy, through Jai Ingham, ultimately.
Now, they worked it really nicely. As the rebound is fired in, there's a claim that Josh Simons has interfered with the ball's flight path with his arm. Didn't get as far as Naseski in the goal. It was good, desperate defending. And those pitches inconclusive.
Can I take him inside for 2 minutes? Let's go.
Closer to these pictures, Corey Bixo. It's pretty disconsolate as he walks down the tunnel. APIA will continue with 10 just for the moment. David Depuzo has been sent away to do some warming up exercises while they check on their number 8. That's loose from Deng. Sakia says, I'll have it. Got a whole heap of support, so he's going to go for the cheeky effort. Well, he's full of confidence at the moment, isn't he? Tasako Sakia.
And he broke nicely, but he was missing his partner in crime. Bisco, who's run up the tunnel into the sheds to get that shoulder strapped. Would have been, from an APIA viewpoint, a very welcome inclusion in that little attack. Sakia thinking, well, I'm down a support player, I'll see if I can catch Matt Acton off guard.
So can Victory make their advantage count here? Barbarouses in towards Kenny Athiu. Great first touch. And he fires on the half volley over the top. Of course, he made his name, I suppose you could say, in this particular competition with Heidelberg. Famously scored a winning goal for the Burgers against Perth Glory, which, amongst other things, earned him his move to Melbourne Victory. And it was a lovely first touch, but just too much elevation on the finish.
I find Kenny Athiu a really exciting prospect. Spoke about him at length many occasions last year about the impact he has on a football match. He's got the chance, as you've said, to cement that position.
Here's Jai Ingham. He's still short-handed, and Nichevsky ran smartly to his right to make the save from the New Zealand international. Victory just starting to create a couple of chances against the 10 men. Thorndike turning into trouble. He's picked up a whack as well. And the last thing APIA need. This is Deng. Space here for James Troisi. Thew dropping off. Touch allows Guatemala to recover. Now with Valeri. Storm Roux on the right. Danger brewing again for APIA. Barbarouses might have been deflected. And Najewski was scrambling. And he was helped out by Josh Simons. And between the two of them, they've managed to deny Kenny Thew at the expense of a corner.
Well, of course, they're a man down, APIA, but the problems are bigger than that. They're just starting to come apart a little bit. Victory spraying the ball from one side to the other as they need to. Storm Roux joining in the attack. Sloppy work from Naseski, and it required some scrambling thereafter. Needed to tidy that up in the first instance, Ivan Naseski, and he was rescued.
Corner fight in towards Storm Roux. Really, APIA have got to make a decision, you'd fancy, pretty quickly on Corey Bigso. Otherwise, Victory are going to take full advantage. Here's Troisi trying to bend it around towards Jayenga. Troisi stroking it into the path of Broxham. Roux spotted the run of Antonis, but just a little too heavy. Daniel Garb is touchline for us. Is there an update on Corey Bigso, Dan?
Well, this is risky business by APIA. Corey Bigso went all the way into the rooms. The word from their team is that he's just getting his shoulders strapped. It hasn't popped out properly, and he'll be coming back on. But they've spent the best part of 5 minutes at least playing with 10 men. The coach, Billy McCall, actually went into the dressing rooms to have a talk to him himself. So taking a risk here, but it looks like he'll be coming back on.
You just saw, Simon, the heat that started to get generated in this game. Terry Antonis was in a bit of a verbal with a direct opponent. Victory on the edge at the moment. They're certainly starting to muscle their way into a dominant position, if there's any question about that. And it shows all the signs at the moment of it just being a matter of time before Victory get themselves back level.
Paul Galimi, I think, has picked up a whack in the latest altercation. He's not too happy. That wasn't picked up by the officials. I think it's a whack to the face of the APIA defender. He's going to need a little bit of attention. Sakia's down on his haunches as well. They're dropping like flies at the moment for the Tigers.
Well, he got collected by Corey Brown. Retains his innocence. Very possibly was accidental. Here's good news for APIA.
I said he was a tough cookie, Corey Bigso. Built like a weightlifter, according to Howard Thorndike, who I spoke to a few days ago about his teammates. Loves the gym, very powerful. Native of Penrith. APIA back to their full complement and still leading. They've survived a little flurry from Victory. Sakia with the cheeky back heel. Up towards Thew, but again, Guatemala is so strong in the air.
That's been outstanding to start this match. Guatemala.
The timing of his leap, terrific, particularly when you're up against Kenny Thew. He's not exactly small himself.
After being the tallest player in the field.
Another goal in the FFA Cup. Who's got it, Adam?
Yeah, we're going to go back to Melbourne, ABD Stadium, and Teo Pelizzeri for the game between Avondale and Devonport.
Anything untoward underneath this free kick then? And it comes, it's a header from Archibald. And Ross Archibald, the skipper, rises to make it Avondale 2-0.
Yeah, Ross Archibald has had experience in the A-League environment, so yeah, double their advantage. Avondale looking good for the quarters at the moment. Back to Leichhardt.
Sure are. Thanks, Adam. Here come Melbourne Victory looking for an equaliser. Thew with Najewski out to meet him. Ball stayed in. And again, APIA scramble well. Paul Galimi makes the block. And still complaining about that whack to the face. APIA have got to regroup fast because they've got a corner to defend. Kenny Athiu starting to find those little pockets of space inside the penalty area. Jayingham to deliver the corner. Thomas Deng is positioned by the penalty spot. Stormroo in there as well. A Deng! And somehow it stays out. Well, APIA got lucky.
Now, so says Kevin Muscat. How did that not quite go in? I think from our vantage point, Simon, it's off the left heel of Ivan Nesescu, who's not been credited with the save, but I think it's quite clearly gone out for a corner.
Yeah, I think it came off Millgate. Initially it was Thomas Deng who got the touch, but...
how this isn't a corner, it defies belief, really. It would almost be physically impossible to impart that amount of spin with your head from a ball coming in at that angle to start with, to skid away from the goal. Let's get some physics lessons for the match officials.
Deng has left it short of Troisi. They've just nudged Chino out of the way. Parisi with the quickly taken set piece. Sakia not quite set in position. These are the areas that APIA have had some joy, just pressing Melbourne Victory and stealing possession, but not on this occasion. Terry Antonis works it out towards Corey Brown. Little give and go with Troisi to create the angle for the cross. Off the head of Nathan Millgate. Troisi beaten in the air by Antonis. Now James Troisi. Off the head of Guatemala. Everybody in the APIA half of the field. Our Victory keeper Matt Acton. Stormroo. It's those two again. Galimi and Barbarouses. It's a running battle.
Yeah, difficult for APIA to get their foot on the ball at the moment. Really under a lot of pressure. And one indicator, Simon, of the difference in the game is that the opening quarter hour, APIA were pressing with great intensity. Now they're chasing Melbourne Victory, and there's a distinct difference between the two. Balance of power has swung, certainly the way the visitors haven't addressed the scoreboard issue just yet.
Jayingham with the free kick. Thomas Deng again in a good position. It came off the thigh, I think. And the resultant cross from Barbarouses straight into the gloves of Nichevsky. He was looking to release Sakia early, but maybe not the right option.
Well, sort of the option, but certainly the execution was poor because the ball's gone straight back, as we can see. That's not what APIA need. They must resist for as long as possible, just inviting Melbourne Victory onto them and onto them and onto them, because Victory will break the resistance. There's no doubt about that. APIA can't stem this tide that started the match so brilliantly, and really with that goal set the contest up. Now they've got to find something else again, APIA, just to cause some trouble for the visitors again and put them back in their box if possible.
This cue by Valeri might open it up for APIA. This is Howard Fondike, formerly of Perth Glory, of course, and actually works the community office at Sydney FC. A joke with me this week that Sydney FC colleagues have said if they win today, I'll get a pay rise with the Sky Blues. Bixo is down again on his haunches. Not a good sight for the APIA Leichhardt Tigers. Millgate was offside and knew it. And they're going to need to make a decision, a big decision on Corey Bixo. And by the looks of the APIA number 8, I would imagine that might be his night done, Andy.
Yeah, well, he didn't fall this time, and as he stopped and dropped, the shoulder came out itself. You see there, he knows he's cooked. He gives it the toe poke. Can't imagine he's going to contribute much more after this.
Corey Bixo, because in the early part of the game, he was instrumental down that right-hand side. Corey Brown, problems. Looks like his night might be over. Whilst they make that decision, we've got another goal at him.
And again, it's at ABD Stadium, Simon, in the match between Avondale and also Devonport. Let's get there with Teo Palazzeri.
Crucial situations as a centre half.
We see more bodies going to ground here. Penalty. That was an assisted trip to the turf, and Lethcano has perhaps got Devonport a lifeline. Let's see what he can do here. Not even close. Straight down the middle, and Braden Mann has got Devonport back in business. It's 2-1.
He's a goal-scoring machine, Braden Mann, down there in Tasmania, and they are certainly back in commission. Devonport strikers against Avondale. So a reminder, Sydney FC are trailing against Cairns FC, and here at Leichhardt, Melbourne victory in a spot of bother against APIA. Back to you, Simon.
Thanks, Adam. APIA have actually had to make that change. Corey Bixo unable to continue, so David Depuzo is with us, former Central Coast Mariner, of course, back in the day. Brother Adam playing for Newcastle and Western Sydney Wanderers. And we thought he was going to start tonight, Andy, but he's with us now at least.
And the poker's now worked its way to a natural conclusion. I'm disappointed that Bixo has had to leave. He was provided a lot of entertainment and no small measure of trouble for Melbourne victory, who are now looking to work their way back into the game. Very dominant for the last 20-odd minutes.
Long walk back to the dressing room. No doubt we'll get an update on that injured shoulder at some point during the night. Yeah, having to regroup. Victory have applied a little bit of pressure. Many of you, one over the crossbar. Jai Ingham's had an effort. They certainly enjoyed a lot more possession than they did in the opening quarter of an hour. League champions, but still trailing 3-0. That was a whisker away from getting through it. Top marks to Storm Root. Stuck out a long leg and made a vital intervention. Otherwise, Scott Simons would have been away. Here's Parisi again. This time he hits the mark. Sakir, score of the game's only goal. David Depuzo to blast it. What an introduction that would have been. Thomas Deng in the way. Victory can't get out. Depuzo back on the ball again. Nathan Milgate pushing forward from right fullback. Chino available. Clever ball by Chino. Sakir just drifting into space. Just a little high for Thorndike. So Tony's for company, and that's about all Thorndike can do. Parisi, still a lovely footballer, isn't he? Even at the age of 35, you can tell that he's played at a high level.
There you go, Simon. That's the background of that sign. Forza Forever APIA, FFA. That is there on the right-hand side of that picture. Dr. Steve Georgiakis, the famous name out of the NSL, former Aussie Ollie Roux, and now lecturer at Sydney Uni. And he's got a cohort of international students here getting into the spirit of the FFA Cup. They were up till all hours last night after lectures preparing their signage.
Their lectures include the history of the cups in Australia, going all the way back to the Australian Cup.
There was a lecture hall full of 250 foreign students hearing all about the FFA Cup yesterday.
And the predecessor, of course, the Australia Cup, won by APIA back in 1966.
Indeed. Doing a great job, and they're having a great time.
Billy McCall said last week he feels it's time an MPL team actually won the FFA Cup. He believes his team is best equipped to do it. There's confidence for you. But they are leading the A-League champions at the moment.
That's been a very, very strong performance in the face of real difficulty over the last half hour or so. But they're hanging on. And they look dangerous on the break.
Greens nil.
The Melbourne victory is starting to shape up impressively.
FC 2 leading Devonport City 1.
Just a recap of scores around the country. Confirming that Sydney FC, along with their A-League counterparts here, still trailing to NPL opposition. Tell you what, if it was to end up in these two scorelines, Andy, probably the most famous cup night in its short history.
You're already getting excited at the prospect, Simon.
Long way to go.
There is a long way to go. Would be quite something.
Zakia looking to get on the end of the long free kick. He's been penalised.
As adjudged by the referee, he's a dangerous man. Scored the goal which separates the teams.
This is Howard Fondike. Josh Simons looking maybe to pick out his brother, Sean, down the left wing. Was late. That's going to be the first card of the night. Ben Abraham's patience has run out. It's Lee Broxham who goes into the book. Nobody's played more FFA Cup ties anywhere than Lee Broxham. He's left a leg dangling on Sean Simons. Free kick's already been taken. There's a chance potentially for Nathan Milgate to the back post. Thomas Deng to steady things down for victory. Ball choice, he's stretching and couldn't control it. Fondike looking for the give and go with Sean Simons, and needed cover provided by Valeri.
Really tight thing. The ball was so close to finding Fondike. Lost a little bit of the sting in his run towards the end. Maybe he's looking forward to half-time to recharge the batteries, but that was a fantastic opportunity for APIA. Pinching the ball as Thomas Deng and Co tried to play out from the back.
Again, those little careless turnovers from victory, as we saw in the opening quarter of an hour, just started to creep back into their game.
In the last couple of minutes, you're right. You've been able to rebalance themselves. Fascinating half of football.
Which has 2 minutes to run, plus stoppages. Might be a couple of minutes to be added on at least. Of course, Corey Bixo out a couple of times with that injured shoulder, since replaced by David DePuzzo. Final touch off Jai Ingham. Who's been away with New Zealand during the off-season, playing in the Intercontinental Cup. Played in all 3 games for the All Whites in that particular tournament over in India. Nathan Milgate with the long throw.
Well, a long throw in that situation, fair enough, as an option. But unless, of course, your target is Zakia up against Thomas Deng, I mean, what's the point?
Maybe he still thinks Jordan Murray is there. Here's Costa Barbarosis. Victory looking to push for an equaliser with half-time looming, and Storm Road had a run of about 50 metres there, but wasn't rewarded. That's clumsy by Valeri. Might be walking a fine line as well. That's a couple of challenges now from the Victory captain, as yet unpunished. Zakia. Trick his way past Broxham, who's having none of it.
He's a beautiful little player, isn't he?
There'll be a minimum of 3 minutes. Time added on, 3 minutes.
Fantastic appetite for the game. He's been well serviced by those around him. It's been
Antonis, wrong side of the football law. Galima, who's
In the middle of it again.
really been in the wars in the first half.
Terry Antonis is claiming this is a dive.
Your view, Andy?
I don't. Well, it's hard to say from that. It looks like he got some contact on the shins. Terry might be right in his belief that player on the end of it made a little bit more of it.
This could be a real chance for APIA. Half-time approaching. Guatemala is excellent in the air. Can they try and pick him out? Broxman sure didn't find its way through to him. Now Victory have a free kick of their own. Seconds of the first half to run. Squared up by Corey Brown. Broxham. Chino giving chase. Stormroom in possession. Looking for a few. Josh Simons across to meet him. Another corner for Melbourne Victory.
He's done well, Josh Simons. Many a few has been up for it tonight. I mean, he never isn't. He's got, talking of appetite for the game, he's fantastic on that front. Plenty of few, but Simons has done well to keep him sort of in check. He's had a couple of good chances, but you're not going to deny Kenny a few over 90 minutes.
Jai Ingham's corner. Simons got in a bit of a tangle. Josh Simons, that is. Still Victory come. Guatemala will try and get Curtis on the header. Scott Simons has found Sakia. Turned with interest by Victory towards Troisi, who's happy to let the ball run out. Time of the essence now before the half-time whistle blows for Melbourne Victory. Antonis turns it out towards Rue. Barbarousis slipping it through for Antonis. Clever readjustment by Terry Antonis. APIA are penned in here. Sakia might be able to see it through to half-time, and they do. Well, what a fascinating first 45 we've had here at Leichhardt Oval, and never mind Keisuke Honda. There's the Japanese name that everybody will be talking about at the interval. It's Tasuku Sakia. His wonderful finish after 9 minutes is the difference between the two teams. They've lost Corey Bixo to injury, but as yet, they've yet to concede an equaliser victory with it all to do in the second half. Could we be on for another big night of cup upsets? At half-time, here in Sydney's Inner West, it's APIA Leichhardt leading Melbourne Victory by 1-0.
Cup set perhaps, and there's another one on the boil as well. We're going to cover all the 4 games at half-time of this main game at Leichhardt Oval. Archie Thompson, Mark Bosnich with a word on what we're viewing as the main game before we go to the break. And Archie, APIA, outstanding. That first 15 minutes was very good in Sakia. Anyone who's watched the New South Wales NPL at all this season knows this guy's talent. His combination with Jordan Murray all season has been so fruitful, but outstanding he was in that first half.
Yeah, well, look, APIA did what Victory does to a lot of teams, is they out-muscled them in that first 15 minutes. We're used to seeing Victory come out and stamp their authority and almost run over teams. But APIA did that to them, and they went ahead with a beautiful finish. Obviously, I think there was a little bit of ping-pong there, but then Broxy was caught in 2 minds. I would have thought he would have gone across there to let someone of his calibre, Sakia, get into that box and have an opportunity to shoot on goal like that. I mean, you talk about this kid, I think he was outstanding, and he'll be on the radar of a lot of A-League teams, I would suggest after this first half performance.
He's a kitchen hand at the Opera House.
Well, I tell you what, if his food's just as good as his football, I'm going there straight after this football. I'm telling you, he was magnificent.
Imagine the local five-a-side team he plays in as well. That'd be outstanding as well. Melbourne Victory side of things, Kenny Atsu, chances few and far between. I mean, they looked to pin APIA back as that half went on, but what have you made of their half?
They're rattled.
Completely rattled, and they're very, very fortunate to be finishing the half with still 11 men. In my opinion, Costa Barbarossa should have been sent off for retaliation, and Antonis is also very, very fortunate, but they've been, in my opinion, for the vast majority of the match, outplayed in the first half. They had a decent period where they held possession, but APIA are very, very comfortable. They've got great structure at the back. They're just sitting back. There's been a couple good saves by Ivan Nesevsky, which you'd expect. They also rode their luck when that header went straight between his legs and just went past the far post. But they've got to be very, very careful here because we're looking at a major upset. And well done to APIA. And we keep talking about, will they have the legs? And we said that about Rockdale and that the last leg and this, that, and the other. Regardless, when you're winning, there was the fortunate incident I talked about. Your adrenaline takes you really, really far. They've got to really regroup this half because there it is. They've got to really regroup this half because, like I said, they're facing exit.
Let's have a look at all the games that are going on right now in the FFA Cup. For tonight, round of 16, night 1, night 2 is next Wednesday night. But APIA Leichhardt lead Melbourne victory 1-0. Look at the third result at the moment. That's not a misprint. Cairns FC leads Sydney FC 1-0. We'll have a report in a moment. Broadmeadow Magic and Bentley Greens. Tempestuous affair, keeping abreast of this one at Magic Park in Newcastle. There's a bit in that one, but no goals at the moment. And Avondale and Devonport. It's Avondale 2, Devonport 1, coming back into it after that penalty near to half-time. We're back in a moment with reports and we'll have a look at all the goals that have happened so far in those other games. You're with the FFA Cup, live on Fox Sports. Highlights before the break, a reiteration.
with a late goal in the early stages. It was all Avondale, and it was Kane Shepherd who looked threatening, especially on his left-hand side, scoring the first goal for the home side in the 19th minute after some wonderful work from Elvis Cansoba. He's been the player of the game so far on the left-hand side initially, and then on the right-hand side, setting up Shepherd for that first goal for Avondale. And then from a set piece, they made it 2-0 not long after that. Their captain, Ross Archibald, with a terrific header across the face of goal, making it very difficult for the goalkeeper. And at that point, you thought, how far Avondale? But then a penalty to Devonport, a clumsy challenge by Liam Boland, the striker. He just didn't have any awareness of what was around him, clattered into his striker, and then it was the man who scored plenty of goals this season, 32 in fact. Braden Mann can score in Tasmania, and he proved he can do it here on the mainland as well. Sent Chris Oldfield the wrong way, and all of a sudden we have a contest. The Devonport fans making plenty of noise. At half-time, it's Avondale by 2-1.
Bet they are zappers. Yeah, great contest there in Melbourne. Let's get to the far north of Queensland now. Cairns FC. What about this at the moment against Sydney FC there with a halftime report with the locals leading. Brenton Speed.
Cairns FC have not been in great form, just one win in their past 8 games, but they have been building to tonight's round of 16 encounter against the cup holders Sydney FC, and it shows. The cup set is on. They lead 1-0 at the break. Young Kavanagh, the apprentice electrician, was there to pounce and showed great poise to slot the only goal of the first half so far, as Sydney FC failed to deal with the set piece, and the young man sparked wonderful celebrations here at Barlow Park in Cairns. Sydney FC have had their opportunities, but they don't have many goal scorers out there, do they? No Bobo, no Mirzaevski from last year, and they're looking for someone to fill the void. Milos Ninkovic had their best chance, but his shot was blocked successfully and cleared by Cairns FC, who are doing a great job to hold on to their lead. They lead at 1-0 at the break. Can they pull off the cup set? We're about to find out.
That is simply amazing there. Adam Lafondra, the new signing for Sydney FC, not eligible just yet, doesn't have the visa, a bit like Keisuke Honda for Melbourne Victory, so he can't help out Sydney FC at the moment. Now to the fourth game for worth updating, and that's in Newcastle at Magic Park. Broadmeadow Magic and also Bentley Greens there for us. Glenn Lauder.
Yeah, we feel a little bit left out here in the Hunter, Adam. The only game not to have a goal, but it doesn't mean to say there weren't plenty of chances. And Bentley would have really liked their chances in the first half. They had plenty of opportunities, and they spent a lot of that first 45 deep in Broadmeadow's half. But Broadmeadow defended doggedly, so much so that from the crowd, just 12 minutes in came the call to hold on. Broadmeadow did indeed hold on, and they probably had the best chance of the opening half early on. John Majerowski heading wide 23 minutes in, and then Bentley started to push forward. James Exsidious, first time shot. Paul Bitts had that one covered, and then Matt Thurtell, who's scored 13 goals in the league so far this campaign, found himself in a great one-on-one opportunity, and Bitts was on hand to push it wide. It was a fantastic one-on-one save by the Broadmeadow goalkeeper. At the other end, the Bentley goalkeeper Ryan Scott didn't have to do anything for 41 minutes. I don't think he even touched the ball, but with 4 minutes left in the opening half, he pulled off an absolutely brilliant top corner save to deny Majerowski, and then right on the stroke of half-time, another brilliant save as Cale Bradbury had his chance to give Broadmeadow what would have been an unlikely 1-0 lead. But as it is, Bentley with the slight advantage in terms of territory and possession, but the score remains 0-0 at half-time.
Now, that was moments ago. They've just kicked off for the second half at Magic Park. Let's get back there right now because something has happened over the caller, Ben Homer.
He's getting forward here, Tyson Holmes. Rolls it in, looking for Webster. He got up there with the header, and Chris Lucas has scrambled it across the line. He scored in the FFA Cup before. He scored the opener that night back in 2016. And he gets Bentley on the board tonight at
Yeah, he's one of a couple of changes from Bentley's round of 32 win, Chris Lucas. A very valuable goal just after half-time. I'm going to give it to Chris Lucas to you guys because we're going to get the break, unfortunately.
Yeah, what about those saves by Bitts and Scott in that game? And the play by the wing guy?
We'll talk about it in the break because we're going to get the break.
It was fantastic. It was good.
Back a moment. welcome back. More goals in the FFA Cup. One at Magic Park. Back to Ben Homer. This one between Broadmeadow and Bentley.
One across the face. Chris Lucas on the turn. He taps it in. Chris Lucas with a double. And Bentley are making Broadmeadow feel a little green early in this second half.
Adam, there he is, Tasuku Sakir. He scored the winner in the round of 32 against Port Melbourne. That gave APIA this chance to play against Melbourne Victory in the round of 16, the A-League champions. And so far it's worked out pretty well for both club and player. His goal in the 9th minute, dividing the two teams. Can they go on and complete the very famous cup upset, Andy Harper?
Well, they're going to have to start the second half as well as they started the first. A change of mind from the ref on that decision. I thought he waved play on initially. As the tackle lunging as it was by Terry Antonis. It was such a good start from APIA in that first half, and importantly they got their reward with the Sakia goal.
Only 6 NPL teams throughout the Cup short history have managed to see off A-League opposition. Just one of those in 2018. They, of course, being Bentley Greens, who are looking pretty good for a spot in the quarterfinals. Potentially, we've got 2 big shocks on the cards this evening. This match here, and of course, Cairns leading Sydney FC, the Cup holders, by a goal to nil up in Queensland. Last time Melbourne Victory were in this neck of the woods in Sydney, of course, they pulled off that unbelievable 3-2 win against Sydney FC in the A-League finals. They're going to need to find a little bit of that intensity in the second half, a little bit sloppy and a little bit rusty first 45.
Yeah, look, it's, you have to make the point, and sometimes you have to make that point repeatedly to apply a little bit of context, but the different stages of preparation can sometimes really tell in these contests.
They pitch the ball again up here. Sakia getting around his man. Oh, it's 2! It's on. Finished by Tatsuku. And the little Japanese striker has his name up in lights. 2 tremendous strikes. And they lead 2-0.
He makes it 1-0 after a good start in the first half, and 2-0 with an equally positive start and a thunderous finish to make it 2-0 at the start of the second half here at Leichhardt Oval.
Well, just what APIA Leichhardt wanted, just what Kevin Muscat did not want. And now it is a big task, a really big task for the A-League champions. Another $2,500 for APIA Leichhardt Tigers, courtesy of NAB. Every goal scored, of course, by an NPL team against an A-League outfit earns that cash prize. But that's of little importance at the moment. This place is buzzing on the back of that superb hit from Tasuku Sakia.
And it's not, so far, Simon, just 2 very good goals. Oftentimes that's enough for a player to get picked up. It's his general performance. And if there's space on A-League rosters around the competition,
Oscar looking rather glum-faced as he watches on. Turned 45 last week, the victory coach. Not a particularly happy belated birthday present at the moment, but still a way to go.
Well, they came back into that first half very well.
See the NAB donate $5,000.
Throw from him.
Protractor out and do a couple of angles and realise that the improbability is profound that he's going to beat Thomas Deng in that contest.
You can sense the adrenaline pumping down through the veins of the APIA Lycon players. Are they going to have the stamina to see this through on the back of 120 minutes and penalties just 3 days ago? Given themselves the best possible opportunity. Victory just a little shell-shocked at the moment. What have they got in terms of their quality and their character? Never lost before to a state federation club in the cup. Sakir on a hat-trick now, of course, seen off by Thomas Deng for now.
Just lost that little one in flight.
Scott Simmons upended. I called him Simons, and indeed his brother in the first half. I'm told it is Simmons.
I took your
apologies to him.
I compounded the problem by taking your lead, Simon.
You should never do that, you know that.
One would have thought.
We've worked together long enough.
One would have thought, yeah. Terry Antonis with another foul, and as he racks them up, you just wonder how much longer before he might pick up a yellow card.
Going in hunt of a third goal here, floated in by Parisi, and it's helped on towards Millgate. Thomas Deng will see it out. He's got a whack to the side of the head for his troubles as well. So it's going to be one of those trademark long throws from Nathan Millgate. Broxson with a header clear. Chino can't stick hold of it. Jyenga forced to check back. Corey Brown. We should make the point as well, of course, that Kevin Muscat has had to rejig that backline quite significantly. The loss of Reece Williams and James Donachie during the off-season. That's a foul by Millgate, free kick victory. Doesn't agree with it, of course.
Yeah, Niedermeyer yet to get into the starting team.
Yeah, he's not troubled tonight either.
Nick Ansell on the bench, returning from his time in Europe. So, early in the preparation, a long way from the start of the A-League, of course. But a fantastic performance so far from Harper, in particular, this man.
Lovely little back heel as well by Sakir. Said to me last week, he's very eager to play in the A-League.
61 minutes gone, it's still Cairns FC 1 leading CFC.
Still got a great shot window ahead of him for the last half an hour or so.
In Newcastle, it's Broadmeadow Magic 0, Medley Greens 2. 64 gone in Victoria, Avondale FC 2, leading Devonport City 1.
Chance perhaps for Sakir to hit the first hat-trick of this year's competition. Victory for their part have been just a little toothless in the final third. To change that if they're to stay alive in this year's cup competition. Floated in by Barbarousas, that was a chance. Jyenga couldn't get on the end of it. Corey Brown to ferry it back to Antonis. That will be Machevsky's. Early release, but too much on it for Sakir.
There's a good chance though for Melbourne victory.
There's Corey Mixo. Stripping and supply to that troublesome left shoulder that saw him depart in the first half. Very good opening 15-20 minutes from him though. As APIA laid the platform for This scoreline that's in the top left of screen at the moment. In the air by Troisi. Nice touch by Parisi. He's overdone it, Franco Parisi. It's nice to watch the first couple of touches. Not sure Billy McCall, his coach, would have appreciated the third. Just down by Broxton. Now in Troisi. We've got another goal in the FFA Cup, Adam.
Yeah, drama at Barlow Park. Cairns FC up against Sydney FC. Let's get to Brenton Speed.
The Barbarousas and
Keeping it alive. Can they hold on with 10 right now? Ninkovic. They want handball, and it's given. Spot kick for Sydney FC, and that's just where Zupo has been withdrawn from. Twice the age of the goalkeeper. Riley went the right way, tried to make the save, but Alex Brosk does put the cup holders back on level terms. It's 1-1 in Cairns.
Yeah, drama. A little bit of controversy. Chris Beath with the call there. We left Costa Barbarousas across. Nothing came of it. APIA still in control at Leichhardt. Back to Simon.
Thanks, Adam. Some Sydney FC fans breathing a little easier. Victory fans still hearts in mouths at the moment. Making progress here though. Corey Brown to firing the cross. Tall figure of Nathan Milgate averts the danger for now. Victory enjoying a bit of possession. Carl Valeri, their captain, famously sent off in the FFA Cup final against Perth in 2015. Lee Brox had to go up and collect the cup. Here's Troisi. Room for the number 10. Apia sitting deep, but absorbed that pressure successfully.
They need an outlet, however, still over half an hour to go, and that attack was diffused and Apia intercepted. There was no Apia player further forward than the bottom edge of their centre circle.
Storm room. Steered clear by Moita Marlow. That's what you call the clearance, a real up and under from Sean Simmons.
Another case in point. Secure is dropping so deep to pack the defence that there is no outlet available for Apia at the moment.
Chino trying to close down that act. It's provided a good result for Apia.
That was good pressure. Really hard in the centre of Apia's midfield.
Played in the lower leagues in Italy, most notably for Frosinone, Adrian Uchino. Throw in Melbourne Victory. Well, there's been a few goals in the FFA Cup tonight, and we've got another one. Who's got it this time, Adam?
Yeah, we're going to go north again. Back-to-back goals for Sydney FC. Let's get to Barlow Park with Brenton Speed.
To lend a hand to Owens, but he's coughed it up to Ninkovic. Right through the middle goes Trent Bahaje. It's 2-1 Sydney FC. Just like that, in the space of a couple of minutes, the cup holders have gone from 1 down to 1 in front.
It's Mr. 10.8 seconds, Trent Bahaje, now the second quickest man in Australian football with Usain Bolt in town. It's back to Simon at Leichhardt.
All you missed here is just a little sniff of an opening for Jai Ingham down the left, but his touch, Andy, was rather heavy and the chance was gone.
It was heavy. He showed speed across the ground. Did Jai Ingham. Feature of his game, and of course, when we're on the theme of FFA Cup, this is exactly the competition which Jai in the shop window, picked up by Melbourne Victory, where he's been his last couple of years.
We're on to the semi-finals with Hume City. In 2015, caught the attention of Melbourne Victory.
This is one of the really attractive parts of the game tonight, the contest for Apia down the left against some very, very accomplished opponents.
Snap on the ball again. Away goes Sakir, but the ball just bobbled away from him. Almost an hour played at Leichhardt Oval, and Victory need to start finding their groove. Otherwise, their interest in the cup is going to be over. Here's a chance. Oh, they've got one. Very good finish indeed, and it is 2-1. Ivan Nichevsky couldn't reach it. Big Kenny Athieu. And now we've got a game in our hands with just over 30 minutes remaining.
Well, it was this contest again. Galimi against Barbarouses, and Costa does so brilliantly. Great experience, good technique to get that half yard of space, just using his body twice to find the requisite space. And the angled ball finds Kenny Athieu, and his angled finish is outstanding.
Number 7, Kenny Athieu. So after Leichhardt Tigers 2, leading Melbourne Victory 1.
Well, now a real test for APIA. And up until that moment, really, they hadn't looked in too much danger. Victory had a fair wedge of possession. Now you'd expect them to try and turn the screw. Says Sean Simmons. Clever ball, but unfortunately David DePuzzo just couldn't readjust.
Johnson has done a great job cloaking the space.
We will leave Leichhardt Oval for the time being. Back to Adam Peacock.
Hat-trick up at Magic Park.